Good Friday evening, everybody. I'm meteorologist Tim Pandages. We've got some new developments in regards to our severe weather threat this evening in the first portion of the overnight. Tornado watches that were put up for our northern areas far to our north have been expanded south to now include our northern third of cities and counties. Well north of I-10, we're talking Montgomery County, points north of there. And this is effective and active through midnight tonight. It's been a warm, humid day today. Temperature-wise, about 10 degrees above normal. Look at the overnight lows. We only got down to 71. We should be in the mid-50s, so over 15 degrees above average. That's one variable that's in place. Warm, humid air. It's also been a breezy day, too, so we've got that spin already being initiated in the atmosphere, something called wind shear. At the surface, it's coming from one direction. Aloft, several thousand feet up, it's stronger and coming from a different direction. So we introduce spin and rotation in the atmosphere that'll help storms that get going ahead of our actual front to have a little bit of a kickstart of maybe becoming severe. So this is what we'll be watching here over the next couple of hours out ahead of our main line, our squall line, that will introduce the threat for straight line winds. Tornado threat with some of these cells building well north of I-10 where the tornado watch is in place. Strong straight line winds pretty much for everywhere else along this actual line. But notice what the line does as it pushes to the south and southeast as we get well past sunset, well into the overnight at 10 o'clock. We start to see some bowing features back to the northwest here, and that's indicative of the stronger straight line winds. But as it pushes to the southeast and eventually makes it into Harris County, the line itself becomes a little more ragged and not as intense as it was back to the north and west. That's mainly due, it's moving into the middle of the night. The daytime heating is not so much in play anymore, so it's just building off of the dynamics that are currently in place, so that wind threat should drop as it heads towards the coastline. I think it gets there by between 2 and 3 a.m. and then races offshore and will be gone by tomorrow morning at sunup. So here's timing on that front again, 7 to 9 p.m. from College Station and Madisonville, Huntsville around 8 to 9 o'clock, and then Houston itself, Harris County, 11 p.m. to 1 a.m. to the coastline between 2 and 3 o'clock in the morning. Storm Prediction Center hasn't shifted this around very much. The severe threat for straight line winds everywhere in the yellow here, pretty much from Montgomery County points south. The tornado threat in the level 3 where the tornado watch is in effect until midnight. Montgomery County points north of there, and that drops at midnight tonight. Our main threats, the damaging wind gusts, the tornado threat as well, greatest north of I-10. Notice street flooding, not a huge problem because of how quickly it's going to be in and out of here. We're talking under an inch of rain likely in most locations through southeast Texas before the line itself pushes offshore. The weekend, tomorrow, rapid clearing. We'll enjoy the comfortable weather with lower humidity and air temperatures in the mid-70s. Sunshine increasing throughout the day as well, but it only lasts really one day, the cooler, drier temperatures I'm talking about, because that same front lifts back north as a warm front during the day on Sunday. So a few extra clouds, maybe an isolated shower or two during the day on Sunday. Temperatures on their way up as well as humidity. You'll notice that difference out there. Radar is just tracking a few isolated storms out there so far this evening. That'll become a little more active and widespread as we head through the overnight. There's your 7-day forecast. Tomorrow, a nice day after a little bit of a bumpy start well after midnight, 75. And then we're in the 80s straight through the middle of next week until our next front looks to arrive a week from today by next Friday.